Let's go. Let's proceed to our learning journey.
So at this point, we will now proceed to inverse function pertaining to domain and range. So our learning objective, you are able to determine the domain and range of an inverse function. 5. So to get the inverse of the given function, translate muna natin yung function of x equal to y. Then 2x minus 5. Okay? And then, what's next? Let us interchange, right? Interchange x and y. So interchange x and y, we have now x is equal to 2y minus 5. Then solve, since we are looking for the inverse. Okay? Solve for y. So we have now, we can move the negative 5 on the other side. We have now x plus 5 equal to 2y. And then we have to remove 2. So in that case, we divide both sides by 2. And then the remaining now is equal to y. So we have now x plus 5 equal to 2. So this is now your inverse, written as this manner, right? The f of negative inverse of function of x, that is now x plus 5 all over 2. So yeah. At this point, we are looking for the domain and range of the inverse function. If we are looking for the domain of the given function of x, that is 2x minus 5. So I mean to say, if you want to look for the domain of that given function, so you can set any values of x, right? On that particular, since wala namang restriction. So I mean to say, your x of values are set of real numbers. Okay? Set of all real numbers. Yeah. So that is the domain of the function of x. Then your range on that particular function of x, that is 2x minus 5, still, any values that you can place for x, pwede magkaroon ng value ng function of x. Okay? Kaya lang, ano lang ang set of real numbers din ba? Pwede? Pwede ba mag-equal to 0 to, class? Posible. Basta you can solve for the value of x to make it equal to 0. Okay? So, same thing. That is set of all real numbers. Okay? Set of all real numbers. Dun tayo sa inverse function x, which is equivalent to x plus 5 over 2. Sabi lang natin, we interchange, right? We interchange x and y. Okay? So, mean to say, yung domain ng inverse function, that is the range ng function. Okay? So, kung ito ay set of all real numbers, so mean to say, this is also set of all real numbers. Okay? On the other hand, in domain, this is now also that will become the range of the inverse function. That is also set of all real numbers. If you recall, class, in the previous discussion, for example, you have your given set of domain, we simply interchange the x and y. So in this example, we interchange only your domain and range. For example number 1. So this is now the domain and range of the inverse function. Let's have another example. Okay? Let's have another example. So this is your f of x. We have x minus 4 over 2x minus 7. Let us solve first for the domain of the given function. So that is f of x over x minus 4. To solve for the domain, since that is rational, function, we state that the denominator should not be equal to 0. Okay? So to determine the domain, we have to identify the restriction. The 2x minus 7 is not equal to 0. Okay? And then solve for x. So to solve for x, we have now 2x not equal to 7. So mean to say, your x divided by 2, both sides, is not equal to 7 over 2. So on that particular, the domain now is what? The set of x wherein x is a set of real number. Yan. That's that. X is not equal to 7 over 2. Ayan. Kaya, yan, that's that x. So, big sabihin ng class, hindi kasali si 7 over 2. Okay? So, hindi kasali 7 over 2. Anong tawag natin sa kanya pag di siya kasali? That is now what we call the asymptote. Okay? The vertical asymptote. Next, for the range, translate muna natin, y is equal to x minus 4. Then we have 2x minus 7. As I remember, we already encountered this last time, that this is x minus 4 equal to x minus 7. If we interchange this is equivalent to negative 4 plus 7x. Okay? Then we have 2x minus 1. Ayan. Ayan yung na outcome natin. If we get sa part nito, kuhain natin yung restriction. As we all know that the denominator should not be equal to 0. Okay? So in that case, 2x minus 1 is not equal to 0. Then to solve, we have now 2x not equal to 1. Then divide both sides by 2 all over 2. Ito na class yung inverse yung solve natin. Then we have now x is not equal to 1/2. This not equal to 1/2, that is pertaining to the range. Okay? This is pertaining to the range of the function x minus 4 to x minus 7. So, mean to say, hindi kasali si 1/2. So, in that case, your range is y. Take note y yun hindi siya x. Y is an element of real number wherein y is not equal 2 1/2. Ayan. So that is our domain and range. Now, let us compare for the inverse. Okay? Let's have now the inverse. So, this is the given function of x, and this is your inverse function of x. Okay? So, this is equivalent to x minus 4. This is the given. Then we have 2x minus 7. Yung inverse function, ito yun, class. Inasolve natin, negative 4 plus 7x. Then, we have 2x minus 1. Ayan, yan yung ating function. Kuhain natin yung domain and range of that particular. Okay? So, as we all know, this is your domain and your range. So, your domain is x, x such that x is an element of the real number wherein x is not equal to 7 over 2. For the range, y such that y is an element of real number, then y is not equal to 1 over 2. So what will be the domain of the inverse? Yung domain natin, class, ayun, magpapayit lang sila. So this is now your x, such that x is an element of the real number wherein x is not equal to 1/2. How about the range? Okay? The range of the inverse function, yung kabila naman. So y such that y is an element of real number where y is not equal to 7 over 2. So that's how we get the domain and range of the inverse function. Can you screenshot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are how we find the domain and range of the inverse function.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the journey of learning mathematics.